Hello, any better connection? I jumped out and jumped back in the hopes that connection might improve. I don't know if it will work, but it's the good old try of unplug it and plug it back in and see if that helps. Right? All one version or another of that same solution. Oh, really? It's still crap? Poop. Poop, poop, poop. I was hoping. That's the worst because I still have a big green light up on my connection. I wish there was something I could do. Boo. Should I switch over to Instagram? Should we try that? I mean, like, there's only half an hour left, so the few of us that are still here, or should we just cut our losses and move on for the day? People who are listening, if you're having crappy connection, let me know. Does anybody out there have a good connection? Let's try that. If anybody is sitting here watching and you have a steady, good connection and you can hear everything I'm saying and there's no lagging, please let me know. I am not expecting to hear from anybody. And if that's the case, we might just cut our losses and call it a day. Risa does. What? The golden child right here. Okay, so that's kind of encouraging. Yep. Stampede. Well, we'll just keep going then because we've got a half an hour left and we will just keep going. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move this in closer to me. So now I'm going to move you in closer to me. There we go. Let's see how that does. It's always so much more satisfying when you get the same number of dots on each one, but it just doesn't always happen. But it's super satisfying when it does. You guys are funny. Mass exodus to Reese's. Thank you, Stephanie. Oops. There was a paint booger. What do you mean it's going crazy? What's happening? The signal? Oops, sorry. Okay, now we are going to be doing those. I think what I would like to do is actually switch back to the rainbow one and do some more of those rainbow swoops. So I hope that's okay with everybody, but that's what I'm gonna do. Might not be dry enough yet. No, totally lied. We're gonna stick with this one. I thought it was drier than it actually was, and it is not. Okay. So now, okay, so I need more of that color paint because we're going to start to use a lot, so we're going to do some swoops. Okay, that's the one I need. Back under the warm blanket. Ooh, pinch. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. right. So we are going to do some swoops. And we are going to do them with a size 9. And I need that other tool. Poop. Hold on a sec. The one that I dropped on the floor earlier. Ooh. Hi, Audrey. What are you doing? Just having a bath. I saw a TikTok earlier, and it was this little girl walking around the house picking stuff off the floor, and I mean like 1, 2, maybe not even 2, little baby. And every time she bent over to pick stuff up, she was mimicking her mom. So every time she bent over, she, ugh, 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 and just grunted every single time. It was so cute. Oh, that goes over there. Okay. So I need that there. So then we need to put you right there. And you know what? I'm going to actually draw another guideline because I do not trust my eyeballs. So I'm going to grab another little piece of duct tape and we're going to draw another guideline. Which means I might have to paint that top again, but that's okay. I don't mind. It is what it is. Okay, so there it is, and I want this line swoops to come out to about here. Yep. Okay. All right. So now we'll go in with our eraser. So a smart person would wait until this paint dries so that we don't get eraser shavings into our wet paint, right? But the impatient person goes in with a tiny paintbrush to move away all the shavings instead of waiting. Whoop. There we go. Now we can keep going. Right? Wasn't that cute? All right. There we go. Swoop number 1 and done. I still go through my clock method when I'm doing this stuff. This would be where the suggestion Rosebud's suggestion of putting guidelines on the Lazy Susan and then lining up, this would help with this part as well. It'll help you anytime you just want to make sure that your lines are going in a straight line. You know, sometimes I've had points where I'll look and the petals, the points of the petal shapes are pointing all off in weird wonky directions. So giving yourself any kind of additional point of reference to help you keep it straight can make a big, big difference. Yes, absolutely, Sophie. So this one is a really, really pointy tool. It's an embossing tool, I believe, or a scoring tool. And it's just plastic on the end. I got that at Dollar Tree. It came in a pack with this one, which is bigger. Came in a pack, and I think they were $2.50 or $1.50 for both. Grid off a poster board. Yeah, that's another really good idea. You totally could. That would allow you to customize the guidelines based on the project too, right? Like if you wanted more or less guidelines, more or less slices sometimes. You could give you a few different options by doing that. Create a few different stencils kind of on your Bristol board. You're welcome, Sophie. Most welcome. When I started, I used to pull the paint down into the swoops, I just used to use a very sharp toothpick. I would go into a pack of toothpicks and I would look for the sharpest and hardest toothpick that I could find. And that's what I used to pull my swoops down. Then I took a needle and I put it into the end of a pencil eraser. I'll show that to you here in a sec. And I used it for a very, very long time, to the point where I was painting on rough surfaces like stone and wood, and eventually I wore the end of the pin down so it wasn't even a sharp point anymore. But then you do it again, you find another one, snip it off, and you're good to go. So this is my pin in the end of an eraser. This works really well for pulling swoops and just reshaping. Like anytime you have to go in and reshape a dot if you need to, it can be really good for that. So this would be good for that too. If you are painting on casted stone, like these incense holders are made out of gypsum plaster, that can be a really rough and dusty surface. So make sure that before you do your based color, whether it's paint or gesso that you use, make sure you give it a wipe down with a damp cloth in case there's any dust on there. You don't want to get them in the paint, and these are very dusty. Very chalky as they dry. All right. This is actually going to be the next pattern that we do as well. So I'm going to do up a 4-inch and a 12-inch pattern using this as the base. So this will be actually the next pattern coming out. Well, sorry, the next pattern that I work on. The next pattern coming out, I will show you what it's based off of. The next pattern that gets released is only going to have a 4-inch though, and then this one will have the 4 and the 12-inch. My first pattern was just released a couple of weeks ago, and it was actually, I can show you. Let's show you, because I got to start thinking about starting to tidy up anyway. Let me show you. So the second pattern, the next one I'm going to release in a 4-inch, is going to be based off of this design. And it's going to be a 4-inch mandala. The center will be smaller, and you'll be able to see more of these kind of feathery swoops. And the first pattern that I have is available on my website right now. I released my first one, and this is it. This is the 12-inch pattern. The 4-inch pattern is this section here. So inside that circle, this is the 4-inch pattern, and then I built off of it to do the 12. Excuse me. So this pattern is available, the 4 and the 12-inch is available on my website right now as a digital download. Step by step with photos, even goes through basic dotting techniques and everything. The second pattern is going to be a 4-inch based off of this. And then the next pattern is going to be a 4 and a 12-inch based off of this. The first pattern that's already released is the starting point for this pattern too. We added it, we had to change the sizes just a little bit, but this was the same design as in that big pattern that I put onto the incense holder. So it's cool to be able to see all the different places I can use the same pattern, just make slight modifications to them. And I think I'll start to document those modifications too and create some ideas there. So this is going to be really, really fun. I want to keep it so even. So there's certain patterns that I follow every single time I'm placing a dot or completing a row or doing a particular pattern. So it's looking for those same kind of repetitions to happen. So the repetitiveness helps. It helps to create some muscle memory. And then the certain ways that I do things, like the first dots, first swoops that I did were north, south, east, and west. Then I divided those spaces in half, and then I'm dividing those spaces in half again, right? And that helps to create the symmetry. Spacing really is about points of reference, trying to recreate or create a spacing that you find pleasing to your eye, that you want to see, and then really taking your time to pay attention to everything about it. Like, how much paint am I putting down? How much pressure am I putting down on the tool? How much paint am I using on the tool? How far away from the left pedal am I? How far away from the right pedal am I? How far away from this center row of yellow am I? So it's creating all those different points of reference and then doing your best to pick the few that you're going to kind of model your designs after, right? So, and that you're going to kind of employ all of the time. And then that will help to create that consistency for you. and take your time. When in doubt, take your time. Most of the mistakes that I make when I am rushing through something and trying to just go too fast. So slow down, take your time, and then it will help. Oh, Audrey. I couldn't figure out why the blinds were moving. It's because Audrey's down there. She's not happy that I have the blinds closed out here today. It's my cat, for those of you who are new. Sorry. But that's the key to spacing, is really, really taking your time. If you rush through it, then that's when you're going to run into some issues. So spacing, consistency and dot size, all of that sort of stuff is all about just recognizing what you're trying to repeat to create what you're looking for. Thanks, Barb. Audrey, are you going through each and every... Yeah, she is too. Yep. All right. This is how we know it's almost time to go, because Audrey has said, hey, it needs to be about me again, please. So I will be putting out my live schedule tomorrow for the coming week. It's going to be a busy one. I've got a lot of appointments with Mom this week and next week, actually. So it's going to be mostly evening lives, I think, for the next week. The next pattern will be getting released soon. If you want to check out the existing pattern, the 4 or the 12-inch, the link is in my bio. I also have some cool Redbubble stuff that I've taken pictures of my art and put it on stuff like clocks and shower curtains and all that fun stuff, if you want to check that out too. And just thank you for coming to hang out with me. I love doing these lives. They are so much fun to me. And they, on many, many days, are the only time where I sit down and paint. So I'm so grateful that you choose to come and to spend your time with me. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. You're welcome, Turkey. You're welcome, Sophie. Yes, I'm going to be able to have more dad visits. Mom is going to be able to go at the same time as me, which is going to make it significantly easier. So, yeah, things are changing, and I'm hopeful, and as of March 1st, I think, the rules are changing, so he'll be able to have visitors other than just me and Mom, which I think is going to be the best thing ever, because then we can tell his GM buddies that he can have visits again. His sister can come down for a visit. All of these people that haven't been able to see him. So I'm optimistic about that stuff. So, and with lots of appointments for Mom, hopefully means getting some answers and getting her some relief and some recovery, right? So it's going to be a busy week, but I will still be going live quite a bit. Friday, normally on Fridays, I do a live from 2 to 4 and one from 7 to 9. This week, I will only be doing the 7 to 9. But I'll post my schedule up by end of day tomorrow. It'll be here on TikTok. It'll also go into my my stories on Instagram and Facebook, and I will add events on my Facebook page to let you know when I will be live during the week and on what platform. So if you want to come and hang out again, you'll know where to find me. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll do my best to give you a hand. And thank you so much for the love and the encouragement in the company. And as always, thank you so much for supporting my business and this dream. I'm very lucky that this is what I get to do for a living. And it's because of you guys buying my stuff and watching my lives and interacting with my content. You guys are why I get to do this. So thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'm so incredibly grateful for you. Never mind the fact that this is just such a wonderful little family that we're creating here together. And that always feels nice. So whatever you guys are up to for the rest of the weekend, please take care of yourselves. Do something for yourself that just feels good for no other reason than you deserve to feel good. And know that I'm sending you tons and tons of love. And we'll see what I get done on these things for the next couple of days. So I will keep you posted. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves, please. Bye-bye.